guys, this is Tina here. Today I'm bringing you the review of the Apple MacBook Pro's 15-inch standard model of late 2012. So I received the notebook a few days ago. I made the unboxing. I already made the upgrade videos, how to disassemble and install all the upgrades I'm gonna show you today. So let's start with another look at the outside. As you can see, the MacBook Pro is made of a unibody aluminum structure, and actually the design is really great. You need to like it, but it's very simple, very smooth, and it's really well made, a great build quality. So there is the usual bottom with the 10 screws to remove the bottom, and goes up to the hard drive, the RAM, the super drive, and do all the stuffs I've done and you have to do to improve the performances of this laptop. So on the back we have this black stripe. It's just the mounting of the screen. There is nothing more. Originally on the side we had a Kensington lock and the super drive in and out for the CD and DVDs. And I don't have it right now because I replaced the super drive with a second hard drive, as you can see in my disassembly and how to upgrade videos. I put inside a 750 gigs mechanical hard drive, 7200 RPMs, so just for the storage. But let's move on. On the front side we have this LED here that shows us if the notebook is working, if it's sleeping, if it's shut it down. Then we have this space to pull up the screen and anything more. On this side we have this indicator that shows us the battery level. We have the headphones out, the microphone in, we have the SD reader for the card. We have two USB 3.0 ports, we have a mini display and the FireWire and the Ethernet port, and obviously the magnetic AC in. Now the laptop is charging, so I will not remove the connector, but it's magnetic as in all the MacBook Pros. On the top we have the Apple logo that it's backlighted when you turn on the notebook. So just talking about the basic features of this laptop. This is the standard MacBook Pro's 15-inch. We have an i7 quad-core processor, 2.3 GHz and 3.3 GHz on Turbo Boost. We have 4 gigs of RAM originally, a 500 gigs storage hard drive, 5400 RPMs, so it's very slow. We have a double video card, the integrated HD 4000 and the NVIDIA GT6 50M with half gig of memory. And you can buy some upgrades from Apple, so you can have the i7 quad-core processor with 2.6 or 2.7 gigahertz instead of a 2.3 base. You can have 8 gigs of RAM. You can have, with the two upgraded processor, 2.6 and 2.7, you'll have 1 gigs of video memory. But basically the base model is just enough for all the performances you will need, as long as you are not a professional. So for the screen we have a glossy panel. We can look here. It's a glossy panel. The resolution of the 15-inch MacBook Pro's, the standard resolution is 1440 by 900, and it's totally enough for a good quality screen. But obviously you cannot reach the higher quality of the Retina display because it's almost double the pixels of this one. And you can choose the glossy or anti-glare HD screens. Instead of 1440 by 900, you'll have 1680 by 1050. So it's almost a full HD resolution, and you can choose by the glossy or the anti-glare. If you use the notebook outside, I will probably go for the anti-glare. So basically this is my own laptop. I upgraded a few things, as I said. I left obviously the stock processor, the i7 2.3 GHz. I put 16 gigs of RAM instead of the 4 original gigs from Corsair, the model is the Vengeance. I put the second hard drive for the storage instead of the super drive, and I put an SSD Corsair Neutron GTX 240 gigs for the main hard drive for the operative systems and all the programs. And basically I made my own MacBook Pros. So this is why I decided to go for the standard MacBook Pros and not the Retina ones, because with the Retina you have a better screen, of course, you have a thinner construction, but you cannot upgrade almost anything. The RAM is locked on the motherboard, you cannot touch anything, you cannot fit in a second hard drive because there is no space inside, and you don't have, of course, the super drive to replace it. And the one thing you can do is to replace the SSD if you want a bigger one, but it's really unusual. You can buy definitely the final version with the 512 gigs SSD. So let's turn on the notebook to see how it does. So talking about the structure, we have the touchpad, and it's really cool, really great. I was used to the Asus Trackpad from the Asus N76 VZ. I made a review. I really love that notebook, but now that I'm passed to Apple, I think will be very difficult to go back. Not for the machine. The Asus was a great laptop, even if this one is made even better. But the big trouble of the normal laptops is the operative system. Windows, I really hate it. I was always for Windows. I didn't like Apple at all, but after some times I need to change my mind, because actually the macOS is really way better than Windows. And actually they can improve their systems on their machine. They can test every machine they made with their system, so it's easier for them to take out a big, great product that has no failure at all. But you know, Windows is just going to get dirty after just a month. You have a great machine. My Asus was really powerful, but after just a month or two with using, and I don't install a lot of application, I don't fill up the notebook with tons of stuff. So it was even going down, slowing down with the performances, and I really, I had enough from Windows, and I decided to swap to macOS, and I will not go back. So coming back to the MacBook Pros, the trackpad is amazing. There are a lot of features actually really cool, and that really helps the normal life with a laptop. The only thing I don't like about this keyboard, actually there are two things, but the first one is the caps lock. You have to press it longer to let it work, because if you press it fast, it will just not get the command. And the backspace is really thin. It's small, and when I write down on the laptop, I cannot find it with my little finger, so it's kind of annoying. I have to get used to it, but for the rest is actually amazing. The battery life, Apple says 8-9 hours with Wi-Fi on, navigation on the internet. Well, actually that's bullshit. I barely reach 4 or 5 hours with a normal usage, maybe 6 hours if I only goes on internet without flash pages, and the 8 hours are just a dream. If you leave the notebook to idle all the time with the screen all dimmed down and no backlight keyboard and no processes going on. So it's cool for this kind of laptop, but then you have some features like the video card controller. You can select if you want the integrated video card. the HD 4000 or the NVIDIA ones working, or both of them in dynamic ways. You can choose everything, but basically it's a great laptop. I'm really happy with it, and all the structures, even the build quality is kind of cool. I tried the 13-inch model before, and I have videos of that too. If you want to take a look, you can find everything on my channel. And I needed just the bigger version. I fell in love with the MacBook Pros. The results is 12,054 for Geekbench. Let's see how it performs. So writing 426 almost, and the reading is going up. So as you can see, the results are really impressive, and from now on they are going to improve to 500, but I'm gonna stick with the first test because it's better to have slightly less numbers to have a proper vision of the performances. So guys, this is the MacBook Pros. Actually, make your choice if you want the top model, if you want the Retina ones, if you want the 13-inch or the 15-inch. I will go with a 15-inch base model, and you can have a complete machine with a good screen, great performances, a lot of storage. But if you just use for fun your laptop, maybe the Retina one, and if you have the money for the Retina ones, that's the way to go. So thanks for watching, see you next time for another review, and peace.